making the headlines tonight. Cambodian King Norodom Sihamoni has received a courtesy visit from the Lao Prime Minister, Phongkham Pavan, during his two-day visit in the kingdom. He also visited the President of the Senate and National Assembly President. The royal government of Cambodia donates 500,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine, 2 vaccine trucks and $13 million in cash aid to Laos. The Ministry of Health bans entry of travellers from 10 African countries to prevent the new COVID variant, Omicron. After almost a year, Phnom Penh Capital Administration has finally reopened high-risk businesses, in line with the country's reopening status. And pups on board as Brazil holds Surf Dog Festival, where dogs surf either individually or with their trainees on surfing boards or bodyboards. This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. My name is Paolo Bonini. Cambodian King Norodom Sihamoni received a courtesy visit from the Lao Prime Minister, Phongkham Pavan, on Tuesday. He has visited the king prior to his departure from the kingdom to return home. Prime Minister Phongkham Pavan has expressed condolences to the royal family, especially to the king, over the death of his brother, Prince Norodom Ranrith, on Sunday in France. The Lao Prime Minister, Phongkham Pavan, arrived in Cambodia on Monday at the invitation of Prime Minister Hun Sen. Making sure that the visit would be successful, Prime Minister Phongkham Pavan has visited senior government leaders, but primarily King Norodom Sihamoni. He has also laid a wreath at the Independence Monument, paying his respects to the late king, Father Norodom Sihanouk. It is believed that the visit of the Lao delegation to Cambodia, headed by its Prime Minister, is a way to further strengthen long-standing relationships and friendships between the two nations. Senate President Sai Chum has received a courtesy visit from the Lao Prime Minister, Phongkham Pavan, on Tuesday. The visit was to enhance and establish stronger relations between leaders in Cambodia and Laos. The official visit of the Lao Prime Minister is to strengthen the bond, solidarity and brotherhood between the neighbouring countries, as well as promoting the cooperation within the ASEAN framework for peace, stability and prosperity in the regional and international levels. Senate President Sai Chum has congratulated Laos on its development from being a low-income country to a middle-income country. They have also discussed Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos triangle area and have prepared to set up a Cambodian-Laos border post next year. Phongkham Pavan is a new Prime Minister of Laos, elected by the Lao National Assembly in March 2021. He was previously Vice President of Laos, Minister of Education of Laos and President of Lao-Vietnam Friendship Association. Lao Prime Minister Phongkham Pavan has paid a courtesy visit to the Cambodian National Assembly President, Heng Samrin, on Tuesday morning. His visit to Heng Samrin is one of his scheduled activities in the Kingdom of Cambodia. The Lao Prime Minister is leading a high delegation visiting Cambodian officials to strengthen the cooperation between the two nations. EAC News reporter Ria Soka has the story.
National Assembly President Heng Samrin has warmly welcomed the Lao delegation led by their Prime Minister Pankam Vipanban. During his 2 days visit in the kingdom, the Lao Prime Minister has noticed a huge development in the Kingdom of Cambodia. He has told the Cambodian National Assembly President that Cambodia has prospered, especially its capital, Phnom Penh. Prime Minister Pankam Vipanban has congratulated Cambodia for its active participation and success in international forums such as the 11th Asia-Europe Parliamentary Partnership meeting and the 13th Asia-Europe Summit. He says that the international events organized and hosted by Cambodia has shown the prestige of Cambodia in the international stage. On his side, the National Assembly President Heng Samrin has applauded the achievements of the strong friendship and cooperation between Cambodia and Laos in the past within the framework of the party, state, government, and National Assembly. He has emphasized that the current visit of Lao Prime Minister Pankam Vipanban marked the resumption of exchanges between the leaders of the two countries to further promote friendly relations, traditional solidarity, and cooperation in all fields. The two government leaders have pledged to work hard together and to resolve the remaining border issues to achieve peace, development, and brotherhood. The Lao Prime Minister has stressed that Cambodian officials can visit Laos at any time of their convenience. Reyes Soko, EAC News.
Highly constructive talks on Monday afternoon between the Prime Minister of Cambodia and Laos. Lao Prime Minister Pankam Vipanban has visited his Cambodian counterpart at the Peace Palace. Prime Minister Hun Sen has warmly welcomed the Lao Prime Minister while informing that Cambodia will donate 500,000 doses of Sinovac vaccine and 2 vaccine trucks to its neighbouring country to help its fight with COVID-19. The handover ceremony will be conducted on Friday to be presided over by the Minister of Health, Mun Bun Heng. It will also be attended by the other officials of the Ministry of Health. Apart from the vaccine and air-conditioned trucks that will be used for vaccine transportation, the royal government will also provide $13 million assistance to Laos for its fight against COVID-19. Lao Prime Minister Pankam Vipanban has expressed his deep gratitude towards Prime Minister Hun Sen, the royal government and the whole nation for its generosity. He says Cambodia and Laos have a long history of friendly relationships in culture and with their traditions. As the Lao Prime Minister has seen the huge development of the Kingdom of Cambodia, he has added that Cambodia and Laos may have changed, but the spirit of the people to people remains the same. Tuesday marks the 5th anniversary of the inclusion of Cambodia's Chapai Dong Veng in the World Heritage List. The Chapai Dong Veng is a Cambodian 2-stringed long-neck guitar, and it was subscribed into UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List on the 30th of November 2016. Marking the occasion, Prime Minister Hun Sen has also called on all Cambodian children to love and protect their precious national heritage. EAC News reporter Dishana Gochan has more details.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has made a Facebook post congratulating Cambodia on the 5th anniversary of the inclusion of the Chapai Dong Veng into the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in 2016. He says that this priceless heritage property of the Kingdom of Cambodia has been preserved for a long time, and he urges all Cambodian children to love and participate in protecting the precious heritage of their nation and the whole world. The Chapai Dong Veng is one of Cambodia's oldest musical instruments, which can be even found in carvings on the walls of Angkor Wat. The 2-stringed plucked instrument is played to accompany songs which are usually about ancient folk tales or short educational stories about virtue and culture. On Sunday, the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts held an event to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of the inclusion of the Cambodian Puppet Theatre as an intangible cultural heritage, and to also celebrate all other heritage properties from Cambodia, which have thus been recognized. The Chapay Tong Veng and the Cambodian Puppet Theater are just 2 of 8 Cambodian heritage sites and properties that have been registered into different World Heritage lists. Others include Angkor Wat, the Royal Ballet of Cambodia, Preah Vihear Temple, tugging rituals and games, Sambo Prey Kuk Temple, and Sabai Thom Khmer Shadow Theater. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
The Omicron virus is a new variant, designated by the WHO as a variant of concern. On Monday night, Cambodia has taken the decision to impose a temporary ban on passengers traveling or transitioning through 10 African countries. The Ministry of Health says it's a precaution, as several other countries in the world have already recorded COVID-19 cases with the Omicron variant. EAC News reporter Yuri Matosko has the story.
Following countries such as USA, Canada, Brazil, Great Britain, the European Union, Saudi Arabia, Japan, Russia, and Australia, Cambodia will also ban travels from travelers coming from 10 African countries. The measures will be on effect 48 hours after the announcement, which was made public on Monday night by the Ministry of Health. The countries in which travelers are temporarily banned from entering Cambodia are Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Angola, and Zambia. The ban also includes all travelers who have just passed through those 10 African countries in the past 3 weeks. Epidemiologists are still figuring out how transmissible is the new Omicron variant. But what is known is that 30 out of its 50 mutations are on the protein spike, which is the exposed part of the virus that binds with the human cells. The Cambodian's Ministry of Health is stressing its remarks to strict apply health safety rules, especially the 3 do's and 3 don'ts, apart from the urgent necessity of all of its citizens to be vaccinated against COVID-19.
6 airlines have applied to resume flights to and from Cambodia, starting in December. These include airlines from Thailand, the Philippines, and Hong Kong, as Cambodia continues to open up the country after gaining control of the national COVID-19 situation. The State Secretariat of Civil Aviation expects that the total number of flights will increase to up to 43 flights a week by December. EAC News reporter Darshana Gochan has the story.
6 airlines, including Thai Smile Airways, Bangkok Airways, Thai Air Asia, Philippines Airline, and Cathay Pacific Airways, flying in and out of Thailand, Philippines, and Hong Kong, have applied to resume their flights with Cambodia. Additionally, Singapore Airlines, which already operates outbound flights to Cambodia, has now requested to operate an additional 14 flights a week, including an extra 7 flights a week at Siem Reap International Airport. The local Lanmei Airlines also plans to operate flights between Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, and Bangkok at least 2 times per week. According to the spokesman and Undersecretary of State for Civil Aviation, Sin Chansarivotha, it is estimated that there will be at least 43 flights a week in December, following the opening up of the country. This is a 16% increase in flights from October, which saw an average of 37 flights a week. Sin Chansarivotha has also been urging the resumption of flights from the Middle East to Cambodia, with airlines such as Emirates, Qatar Airways, and Etihad Airways. He has also been organizing the rescheduling of flights from All Nippon Airways in Tokyo. He has added that the number of flights may vary depending on the evolution of the actual situation of control of the COVID-19 epidemic. Cambodia has stopped requiring quarantine for all travelers who have been vaccinated against COVID-19 2 weeks ago. This is in accordance with the government's decision to reopen the economy, especially the tourism sector. More flights in and out of Cambodia will mean a faster recovery for an economy that has been decimated by the pandemic for more than a year. Darshana Gochan, EAC News, Phnom Penh International Airport.
Phnom Penh Capital Administration has announced the reopening of cave TV, clubs and other entertainment businesses in the capital. The announcement came on Tuesday, just hours after the administration released an announcement to extend the restrictions for a week. EAC News reporter Yuri Matosko has the details.
A change in the capital's decision. Following Monday night's decision of 1 week extension of the restriction, Phnom Penh Capital Administration has announced that it has decided to reopen the high-risk business starting on Tuesday. The announcement says location owners or business owners of karaoke bars and discos need to be assigned staff in front of the entrance to inspect the vaccination card in accordance with the instruction of the Phnom Penh Capital Administration and must always adhere to the 3 protection measures. The business should also be in strict accordance with the standard operating procedures set by the Ministry of Tourism, guidelines of relevant ministries and institutions, and strict health safety measures, the temperature, clean, and spray disinfectant. Phnom Penh Administration says that if any owners or management of the high-risk business not implement the SOPs, they will be subjected to administrative sanctions and legal sanctions, including public disclosure of offenders in accordance with the law on measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and other serious and dangerous infection diseases and legal regulations.
Cambodia's daily COVID-19 numbers keep on moving steadily downwards, now only in the 20s. On Tuesday, only 22 new cases were recorded. That includes 3 imported cases. Cambodia has achieved a total tally now of 120,134. 19 patients were successfully treated and dispatched overnight. They make the total recoveries 116,507. But unfortunately, 5 people have lost their lives due to COVID-19 last night alone. According to the Ministry of Health's announcement, 3 of them were unvaccinated patients. Cambodia's total deaths since the beginning of the pandemic now stand at 2,940. The kingdom's active cases have come down to only 687. World Health Organization Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus has declared the new COVID-19 variant, Omicron, poses a very high global risk, and the world must be prepared. South Africa at current is paying a high price for the early detection of the Omicron variant. South African officials say that they are being punished for the good work they have achieved due to several countries of the world banning flights from countries in southern Africa.
All flights to and from South Africa were summarily suspended in Britain to the absolute consternation of the Southern African diaspora, many of whom live in the United Kingdom, and the absolute despair of South Africa's tourism industry, for which the overseas end-of-year tourism market is the structural spine. The predictions of the scientists who warned that the elevated transmission of the virus in areas with limited access to vaccine would speed up its evolution. The World Health Organization says on Monday that the heavily mutated Omicron coronavirus variant is likely to spread internationally and poses a very high risk of infection surges that could have severe consequences in some places. Although no Omicron-linked deaths had yet been reported, though further research was needed to assess its potential to escape protection against immunity induced by vaccines and previous infections. In anticipation of increased case numbers as the variant, first reported last week, spreads, the UN agency urged its 194 member states to accelerate vaccination of high-priority groups and ensure plans were in place to maintain health services. By Tuesday, the Omicron variant had been detected in Austria, Belgium, Botswana, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Israel, the Netherlands, Portugal, Scotland, South Africa, Switzerland, and Britain. The United States, as just one example, had banned travelers from South Africa, Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. It's a clear collective hysteria based on the reaction of politicians and the public, whereas society in different countries have been urging its leaders to live with the virus and not shut down in response to a rise in cases of the new variant.
Now for a look at the news making international headlines this Tuesday, 30th of November.
Heavy rain flooded streets in the Basque city of Bilbao in northern Spain on Monday, leaving dozens of cars washed away and stranded in the floodwaters as the Nervión River broke its banks. Around 100 flood-related interventions, including the rescues of 5 motorists trapped in their cars. Spain's meteorology service, IEMET, has issued orange and yellow rain warnings across the country's north, which means the weather may cause high risks to people and property and indicates the potential impact. Bilbao Mayor José María Aburto has reported that firefighters have been called out dozens of times overnight as the storm knocked down trees, flooded streets, and produced mudslides. The footage showed cars in the neighborhood of Zorotza stuck in the floodwaters. Over the weekend, storm or rain has forced roads to close and left truck drivers stranded as heavy snowfall hit the northern parts of Spain. Amid the persistence of rain and active flooding alert, authorities have asked residents to stay away from flooded area and to park their vehicles in safe places far from the river.
Intense streams of lava flowed from its 2 new vents opening on La Palma's volcano on Monday, has threatened more homes in the northeastern part of the island as the eruption entered its 10th week. The eruption continues at elevated levels with low lava fountaining and abundant lava flow emission from the new vents that opened yesterday morning around the northern base of the cone. Associated ash emissions have been rising to 1.4-kilometer altitude and drifting south-southwest over the sea. The new lava flows follow a route around the new western side of the cone and have been advancing quickly north of the existing flow field on their path, invading new land and destroying additional structures. The Canary Islands Volcanological Institute has reported that 1 new lava vent opened overnight on the Cumbre Vieja volcano as huge clouds of smoke billowed into the sky. La Palma Airport was finally able to reopen on Sunday after cleaning services removed ash accumulated over the past few days. As of Tuesday, the lava stream had engulfed 1,115 hectares of land, and the eruption has damaged or destroyed nearly 2,700 buildings, forcing the evacuation of thousands from their homes on the island. And finally, Philippines launches an ambitious drive to vaccinate 9 million people against COVID-19 over 3 days, deploying security forces and using tens of thousands of volunteers to help administer the program. The government made sure that they also have continuous second dose and boosters available to make sure everyone is vaccinated against COVID-19. The immunization campaign was scaled back from an earlier target of 15 million shots, but would still be a record in a country where vaccine hesitancy remains an obstacle and there are logistical hurdles to reach people in the sprawling archipelago. Vaccination hubs in San Juan City and Marikina City and Metropolitan Manila residents patiently lined up for their vaccinations early. Some brought their whole family, including their children. The Philippines has faced one of the worst COVID-19 outbreaks in Asia and has been slower than many of its neighbors in immunizing its people. About 35.6 million people have been fully vaccinated, a third of its 110 million population. The country aims to immunize 54 million people by the end of 2021 and 77 million by next March.
After the break, a look at all the latest sports news.
EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, please, please wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EAC News' audience is growing. Our YouTube channel has over 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube. It's given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EAC News' hard work and incredible achievement. She says we brought a unique voice and style to the world, but have also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to YouTube and search for EAC News. Subscribers get alerts when the Daily Roundup is premiering and live events are streaming. Get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. The EAC News channel on YouTube. Cambodia made clear. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
The French club has announced on Monday that Paris Saint-Germain's Brazil forward Neymar faces 6 to 8 weeks on the sidelines due to an ankle sprain. He sustained it in Sunday's 3-1 Liga, the first comeback victory against 10-man Saint-Etienne. The 29-year-old twisted his ankle in the dying seconds of the match after treading on the leg of Saint-Etienne's Ivan McCall, which left him screaming in agony as he was carried off.
Neymar was later pictured leaving the Stade Geoffroy Guichard Stadium on crutches. PSG says that examinations carried out last night confirmed that Neymar Jr. suffers from a sprained left ankle with ligament injuries. PSG has added that an availability of 6 to 8 weeks is to be expected, adding that his injury will be evaluated again in 72 hours. Neymar had earlier said in an Instagram post that setbacks were part of an athlete's life and vowed to come back better and stronger. PSG Lionel Messi set up all 3 goals in the game as they stretched their lead at the top to 12 points.
Frank Williams, founder and former boss of a team that bore his name, a team that still ranks as one of the most dominant and successful in the history of Formula One, died on Sunday at the age of 79. Williams had been paralyzed since 1986, when at the age of 43 his rental car crashed as he was leaving the La Castella circuit in the south of France, where his team was testing Formula One cars. One of the longest-lived quadriplegics, he responded to the physical disability by steering his team to even greater success, watching from his wheelchair in the team garage. In 2012, he handed over day-to-day running of the team to his daughter Claire, who was officially the deputy principal. He had been admitted to hospital on Friday, and the British-based team said he passed away peacefully this morning, surrounded by his family. Williams was sold to US-based Doralton Capital last year, and the family are no longer associated. Under his leadership, the team won 9 Constructors' Championships and 7 Drivers' titles, most recently with the Canadian Jacques Villeneuve in 1997, and 114 Grand Prix. The last was in 2012. Only Ferrari have won more Constructors' titles. Australian Alan Jones in 1980, who was the first to win a driver's title in a Williams, and he was followed by Finland's Rosberg in 1982. Brazilian Nilson Piquet took his 3rd title with the team in 1987. Britain's Nigel Mansell celebrated his one and only title in 1992, before Frenchman Alain Prost chalked up his 4th of his career in 1993. Damon Hill, who led the team after the death of triple champion Ayrton Senna in a Williams at Imola in 1994, won the title in 1996, before Villeneuve completed the list. Williams entered the sport in 1969, providing a Brabham for compatriot Piers Courage to race, and set up Williams Grand Prix engineering in 1997, with co-founder Patrick Head. In 1992, with a highly innovative car designed by Andrew Newey, Williams won 10 of 16 races. In 1996, they won 12 of 16. Now let's have a look at the weather and see what you can expect for tomorrow. And finally, man's best friend is a common phrase used to describe domestic dogs, referring to their enduring long history, an exceedingly close bond built through the centuries, based on loyalty and of friendship. And once more, an event has proven that it's possible to have humans and pets interacting as one, as seen on a beach in Brazil.
Dogs enjoy swimming as much as humans do. Swimming is a great way for dogs to cool off on hot days, get in some great exercise, and have a little bit of fun all at the same time. And the time to get all 4 furs get wet and wild. Dog surfers and their human pals have joined the fun when dogs have reigned over the waves in the Brazilian coastal city of Natal on Saturday during the Surf Dog Festival. Pop on boards are kings and queens of the waves in Brazil's Surf Dog Festival. Fur pets dazzle on surfboards and wow the crowds in Brazil competition. The 4 furs surfed next to their owners and paddle boards, while beginners were provided with life vests to ensure safety in the water. First place winners were Parafina and her owner, Augusto Cesar. The pair had previously won silver and bronze medals at the Surf Dog World Championships. Winners are chosen based on how well they ride the waves and stay on their boards. The dogs surf in 10-minute heats judged by a panel of surf pros and aficionados. Contestants will be judged on the length of the ride, wave technique, enthusiasm, and confidence on the board. Dog surfing is a fun and entertaining sport in which dogs are properly trained so that they can surf on various surfing boards, bodyboards, skimming boards, or by simply doing body surf. Dogs surf either individually or with their trainees on surfing boards or bodyboards. Event coordinator Jacqueline Cordiera said the festival has proven that it is possible to have humans and pets interacting on the beach. Dog surfing has been documented as occurring in the 1920s in California and Hawaii. In the 1930s, a silent film titled On the Waves in Waikiki depicts Philip K. Auna and Nighthawk, his terrier, surfing together on a wooden surfboard in Hawaii.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow at 8 p.m. We'll see you then.